All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining our next series here with NeuroFlash. And I just want to give a thank you to everybody that's joining today, all of our clients. My name is James Ellis. I lead our partner sales for financial services. And one of our awesome partners, NeuroFlash and Paul, have taken their time to present a webinar and demo on messaging for in-app web and the upgrade opportunities and everything that you can do about it. So whether you're moving from live chat or thinking about it, or you want to know more features and functionalities you can do with MIAW, that this is the call to be on. So with that, I will give it over to Paul, and then, yeah, hope everybody has a good listen. Thank you.
Thanks so much, James. Really appreciate it. Hey, folks, Paul Taylor here. Thanks so much for joining. Today's topic is the upgrade opportunity ahead for all of you on the messaging for in-app and web platform with Salesforce. So with that, if we can just click over to agenda. Thank you, Eric. Today, we're going to quickly go through who the heck is NeuroFlash, what's our experience, and some of the customer success we've had in the market. And then we're going to jump right into why is, and we're going to call it MIAW for the rest of the day, messaging for in-app and web is indeed an upgrade from the legacy chat products that are being retired over the course of the next 18 to 24 months. We're also going to give you a quick demo. Eric's going to run that. And then we're going to walk you through some upgrade offerings that we've put together to really help you rethink your digital engagement strategy and take advantage of this opportunity to rethink how you're leveraging some of the Salesforce platform products that you've got in place today. And then we'll have Q&A at the end. You can just poke your questions at us in the chat, and our moderator will bring them up at the end of the call. Does that make sense? Good deal. Oh, so who the heck is NeuroFlash? Let's meet the team. NeuroFlash was founded in 2016 by Brett Chisholm. Spent his entire career in the contact center space, has helped hundreds of organizations transform their contact strategies with their customers. And he built NeuroFlash up to a 400 strong person organization today. And I'll talk a bit more about our platform focus. But with the rest of the team, we've got John Hostetler, who runs our global sales organization. I roll right up to John. My name is Paul Taylor. I was hired specifically to drive our Fin strategy at the enterprise level with Salesforce. And after a 13-year career there, I bring sort of that platform experience and expertise to NeuroFlash to help customers be really successful with it. And then I've got Eric Sang, who is our amazing VP of Solution Engineering. He's going to drive the demonstration of capability today and has a depth of experience in deploying Salesforce and Amazon solutions with our customers over the last 8 years as well. Quite simply, we build AI and data-powered experiences that transform the customer experience. We are a Summit and ISV Salesforce partner. That's the highest level of partnership you can have with Salesforce. We're very thankful for that. But I think what makes us really unique in market is that we have an equivalent level of expertise and partnership with AWS and the Amazon Connect telephony platform as well. So we bring that unique capability to stitch those two platforms together and bring the best of both for our end customers as they think about how to deploy these solutions around the world. Specifically, our expertise, we are absolute category killers in the Service Cloud contact center space. We have deployed the entire stack hundreds of times for customers. We've done hundreds of voice solutions specifically leveraging the Amazon Connect platform, which truly makes us a standout partner in the Salesforce ecosystem when it comes to contact center transformation. But we've also got deep experience around the rest of the Salesforce stack. So think about digital channels like we're talking about today, chatbots, field service, the whole sales side of the equation with lead to cash, deep expertise there. We can deploy the entire Salesforce stack for you and bring the power and expertise of AWS technologies to bear at the same time. So how do we do this? Well, we're a fully capable transformation partner for you. And how do we do that? We can help right at the beginning. We can help you with building out that strategy and building a plan for deploying Salesforce and Amazon capabilities in your organization and truly drive change management through your company as well. We're very outcome and insight focused. So we table that as part of our exercise with you to help you measure what matters to you as you think about how to deploy the Salesforce platform. Again, I've talked about how we focus on both sides of the stack, but the design and implementation side is where the rubber meets the road. And we're a 400 strong person organization to help you deliver that. I think what makes us, again, a bit unique, not just the AWS side of the equation, but we've extended partnerships to other highly integratable complementary solutions in the market, such as DocuSign and RightRev, to help you deploy additional automation capabilities and other tools that greatly enhance your Salesforce CRM experience inside your organization. We've also built products on both the AWS and Salesforce platform. They're available on the marketplaces and the App Exchange for Salesforce. So we're pretty proud of our capabilities. 400 person strong org that's accomplished a lot in a short period of time, and we're very, very customer focused. So we look forward to engaging with you further. And why is this? Well, we focus on the outcome. We actually document a lot of this in our statements of work. So we'll help you measure things like average handle time, call deflection rates. Do you want to go multi-language? Are you looking for cost reduction? We're all about measuring those things as well. And it's a key part of our strategy when we engage with clients is, what are you looking to get out of the Salesforce and AWS platform? And how do you want to transform your organization? Let's document and measure success against those things that matter to you most. Next slide. So I've said before, we've done this for hundreds of clients before. These are just a snapshot of some of the organizations we've worked with. I think it spans virtually every industry at this point now, but why don't we drill down a little bit into the Fin space, which is where I spend the majority of my time with my Salesforce partners, and that's a firm. What I love about this talk track is it is a full Salesforce-driven contact center transformation. A firm deployed the entire stack of Service Cloud, including Amazon's Service Cloud Voice or Salesforce's Service Cloud Voice product with Amazon Connect as the telephony platform, and they've done this on a global scale. They're driving 50,000 cases on the platform. They've got nearly 1,000 agents now driving activity on the Salesforce Service Cloud suite. But I really love some of the deflection figures. Take a look at that. The voice bot engagement is nearly 90%, and the deflection to the self-help portions of the platform, Experience Cloud, is 40+%. So a really powerful story of how they took legacy products and fully deployed a Salesforce and Amazon-driven solution with NeuroFlash as their partner. We continue that partnership today. Wanted to talk a bit about a really specific use case, though. We're talking about messaging in-app and web and all of the power that new platform enables for you in the digital engagement space. This is a consumer electronics firm. We deployed messaging for in-app and web, as well as a full knowledge deployment on the Service Cloud platform. And we migrated off of the legacy chat products we're talking about today to the MIAW platform. But we also pulled all of their knowledge base from Sprinkler into the Service Cloud knowledge portion of the platform, previously unused, sitting literally dormant. I think what drove a ton of value for this client was an incredible amount more insight for the agents themselves, but also it allowed them to greatly increase their ability to measure performance, a lot more visibility on the platform, and a whole host more data for agents and customers to access resident inside Salesforce. Drove a ton of deflection from the call center and allowed them to really leverage the advanced chat capabilities that we're going to show you in a minute from MIAW and allow for asynchronous chats to happen with history, not just for the agent, but also for the end customer. There's a really powerful story there behind the ability to have historical reference to chats as you go forward as a customer or interacting with the business itself. This is in 14 different languages, 21 different markets. A full global deployment of MIAW was driven by NeuroFlash with this customer. So with that, I'll ask for next slide, Eric, and I'll pass it to you.
Great. Thank you, Paul, and thanks everyone for joining today's session. So um, in this next section here, we're just going to outline a little bit around how we see the upgrade opportunity for messaging for in-app and web, and specifically how NeuroFlash can really be a trusted advisor and really help you ensure you're maximizing the value of the platform with your digital engagement strategy. Just to take a quick look at kind of what's new with the MIAW platform here. Really, from our perspective, and in my own experience helping customers implement digital engagement with Salesforce, there's certainly been significant investment from the Salesforce organization around launching MIAW and making sure customers are really successful with the platform here. Many of the folks that might be joining today's session might be familiar with the first version of Salesforce Chat, which was called Live Agent many years ago, right? And that was kind of the first version of being able to leverage a digital channel with the Salesforce platform. If you recall, though, that experience was basically taking your chat visitor out into a different tab to create that experience. And really, since then, Salesforce has really made a significant investment in improving or enhancing that customer experience for digital channels. MIAW has actually evolved through some of those iterations and previous solutions. So from Live Agent, Salesforce has also launched Salesforce Chat, and that's really being called kind of legacy chat, which we'll refer to today in comparison with MIAW. So if you have a chat instance today that sits as an embedded service or a snap-in on your Experience Cloud site or other site destinations that you may have, that's all being powered by kind of that legacy version of chat that's being uplifted or upgraded into MIAW here. Some of the key highlights with MIAW is, first and foremost, the chat behavior is actually asynchronous in nature. So previous to this iteration of the digital engagement platform, all of your chat conversations were based on that, what's called chat transcript. And that was a very session-based model with a very kind of clear start to the chat and an end to the chat there. With asynchronous, this allows us to keep conversations connected between your customer and agents, and really allows a little bit more flexibility for customers to respond at their own leisure or at their convenience. And it also allows you to scale a little bit better with your staffing your agents. You may encounter challenges today where you have an agent trying to help support a customer on chat, and that customer is just not as responsive as you might hope, and that agent's still taking capacity to help manage and support that customer. And asynchronous chat allows us to build in some of those rules in place to say, hey, this customer's not quite active or they're inactive on this chat. Let's move on to the next one. If they do respond, we're going to maintain that session or that threading of that chat and make sure we can route it appropriately back to another agent to help support that inquiry as well. So that asynchronous messaging really kind of goes across both layers, not only from a customer experience side, but also thinking about the staffing consideration to help scale your operations through some of these digital channels. You may have seen recently, Salesforce has invested also heavily in Einstein for Service. You may have heard this referred to as Einstein 1 or generative AI. And the investment from Salesforce to help support this is really focused on the MIAW platform. So you'll be able to leverage a lot of efficiency gains, automation capabilities using generative AI, and plugging that natively into channels like MIAW really help scale the operation for your support organization, but really helps you also maximize the value of the platform by being able to leverage generative AI features. You're going to see some of this in our demonstration today. Capabilities like mid-conversation summary to give you a quick snippet of an ongoing conversation between an agent and a customer, and also things like work summarization. So when a conversation is ended, we can leverage generative AI, part of that MIAW platform, to go ahead and summarize the conversation and then disposition that onto a case record, for example. With some of the in-app capabilities, there's also the ability for us to do things like proactive messaging. So as opposed to the current functionality that's more reactive, right? You have to wait for a customer to initiate a chat or to start a chat session. Proactive messaging gives us the ability to actually create a more proactive outbound type messaging experience. So if you wanted to reach out to a customer or proactively send them a message, you could do so by leveraging the in-app capabilities of the solution. And there's even capabilities to embed this chat platform into a native mobile application that you might have today and start to tie into things like push notifications to create a more seamless and asynchronous chat experience there. Most importantly, messaging in-app and web is leveraging that messaging service of Salesforce. That really allows us to create a single and connected messaging console across any channel. So we're focusing today on MIAW and that upgrade from Salesforce Chat. But as I mentioned, we're leveraging all the same backend components that are going to be used to power things like SMS and WhatsApp on the Salesforce platform here. So if you're thinking about, why upgrading, right? As I mentioned, unlocking the AI capabilities is a significant advantage here. As Salesforce continues to make that investment around generative AI and how to expand some of the functionality around chat, being able to unlock those AI capabilities are really key, especially as you think around scaling the solution and offering a really elegant experience for your customers there. Salesforce is, of course, constantly evolving their technologies and their capabilities. And so making sure we're staying current and up to speed on the latest and greatest ensures that you can maximize the value of what's released every quarter from the Salesforce product teams there. Last but not least, really enabling a single connected messaging console, as I mentioned, is going to be really key to driving that agent efficiency. And as you continue to scale that operation, ensuring that you have the right channels and operations in place to support that. With that, I'd love to go ahead and dive into a live demonstration of MIAW here. So we have a fictional company today called Neuracash, and we're going to highlight a quick experience of not only your customers leveraging MIAW, but also what that looks like for your agents in a console view leveraging this platform as well. You're going to see here on my screen at the bottom right, we have a basic call to action that one of your customers could go ahead and activate to start a MIAW session. And this might be very similar to what you have today with Salesforce Chat or other chat solutions. This is a basic kind of call to action that we can create and embed on any site destination. There's other ways that you can invoke chat, right? Instead of being more reactive, this could also be a proactive chat invitation to allow customers to see that option or kind of encourage them to activate a chat session based on their behaviors on the website, for example. You'll see as soon as we start the chat interaction here, we're going to assume that I'm actually authenticated into my Neuracash account. And what that allows us to do is create a more personalized experience. These chat sessions could go and just route directly to an agent using OmniFlow. In this scenario here, we wanted to highlight an example of how we can start the interaction using Einstein bots. And to use Einstein bots with MIAW, there's actually a version called Enhanced Bots that allows us enhanced capabilities, but also is compatible with that asynchronous nature of our conversations. So this enhanced bot here is trained on leveraging that authenticated information, so we know exactly who this customer is once they've logged in, and we can use that information to personalize the interaction as soon as they start their self-service journey. You'll see here we have a few self-service options that are readily available for the customer to go ahead and select. But we can also leverage natural language as part of that Einstein natural language framework to go ahead and try to understand the intent of the customer to offer that self-service. So I'm going to go ahead and ask a question, and I'll say, how do I send a wire transfer? You'll see here this enhanced bot is trained on that natural language framework based on historical chats and a whole natural language model that we built out. It's able to understand that intent and then match it to a dialogue. And you'll see here the bot's been trained on specifically how to provide a step-by-step process on how to complete a wire transfer here. I'm going to go ahead and give this a thumbs up. And there's, of course, all different strategies we have in place as well to gather feedback from the customer to see how effective or ineffective a response is. And that goes into improving the responses of the bot and really optimizing that experience there. I'll show you another example of leveraging natural language for self-service. So maybe I'll say, when will my additional user be added to my account? If you think of this, right, we're demoing this in real time. So this could be kind of one single kind of conversation. As I mentioned, the asynchronous nature of this platform, though, allows us to perhaps exit or leave this chat or go about our day and return to this chat interface in this chat session to continue this conversation. So we're showing it kind of all at once, but it could be broken out into multiple kind of conversations or have delays in the conversation as well that the Einstein bot can manage. So you're going to see here, I've gone ahead and requested to understand when an additional user will be added. In this case, it's going to be less FAQ based. We're actually doing a data dip back into Salesforce or perhaps back into a banking core processor, and then providing some information back to drive self-service. So we're saying, based on authentication, we know who you tried to recently add to the account, and we've actually given a status update on when that user will be added here as well. Again, we're going to collect some feedback just to make sure we're providing the relevant responses and really providing an elegant experience here. When the inquiry type becomes a little bit more complex, we're going to go ahead and escalate over to an agent. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'd like to speak to someone about a charge on my account that I don't recognize. So up to this point, we've perhaps inquired about some use cases or dialogue types that might be relevant for self-service. In this case, this is going to be a little bit more critical, and we need to get this conversation over to an agent. I'm going to go ahead and confirm which account we're referring to, and then you're going to see here this bot's going to transfer the conversation over to an agent. Here in Salesforce in the console view, we're going to leverage omnichannel to not only establish our presence to take a messaging conversation, but also ensure that we have the right skills and availability to manage this messaging session. One of the main changes you're going to see here if you are using Salesforce chat is that your presence will kind of shift from chat-based interactions and over to messaging. So there'll be a whole suite of present statuses and upgrading that into messaging. But messaging can be used not only for MIAW, but also for things like SMS and WhatsApp as you expand your channel offerings here as well. Behind the scenes, when we do establish availability for messaging, omnichannel is also seeing not only the presence, but also the skills that are required to take this messaging session on. And based on those factors, we're leveraging actually OmniFlow to help route the conversation over to the right agent here. As soon as we accept the chat, you're going to see an example of a screen pop in view that's being built off of the messaging session. We've leveraged all the data that we have around this customer. So here on the left side, we know exactly who we're speaking to, and we're driving a screen pop of existing contact or account data, and also perhaps previous or existing cases that we can use. Here in the middle of my screen here, this is an example of that messaging conversation, and it is asynchronous, right? So if there's previous conversations or chats, we actually have a messaging thread of that inquiry that we can reference as well. Here's an example of the conversation that's being passed over from the Einstein bot right into this messaging session. Here's actually a previous example of some of that threading. So you can see when that chat started, when the NeuroFlash virtual assistant or Einstein bot joined and left the conversation. And it gives you that full kind of threading history that you don't have today with Salesforce chat that really adds to presenting a more complete view of that service history and also that chat history to really make sure the agent has the latest and greatest information to service the customer. As your agent starts to look through the conversation here, they can also start to gain a little bit more context in terms of the conversational history. And they can also start to leverage Einstein for Service and generative AI to expedite their process to understand that conversation. So here at the top, I could walk through and skim through that conversation. I could also leverage conversation catch-up. So Einstein for Service and generative AI is actually looking at that messaging session. It's giving us a quick catch-up or a quick summary of what's occurred in that conversation, and then even starts to even try to categorize the issue type, right? So we know this was about a wire transfer, adding a user, and then most recently a dispute on the charge here. I'm going to go ahead and showcase some capabilities we have within this chat. So just to go kind of a quick view, we have options to go ahead and send emoticons over to create a more complete customer experience. You could transfer this session over to another agent that's available. You could also access flows and have the flows automatically find the right agent to transfer that session to. You could use things like quick replies. So if you have quick replies with chat today, we could bring those over right within your messaging strategy here. You could also send what are called messaging components. These are enhanced versions of kind of UI elements to go ahead and, for example, send a form or a custom component in chat here. You could as well attach or send a file if you might need to. And then, of course, as you have today, you can also raise a flag for support. I could go ahead and enter in my chat here. I'll show you a quick example of this. So I could say, hello, I see you're looking for support for a fraudulent charge. You're going to see here, as soon as I send this message, if I jump back to the customer side, there's some indication, of course, that we transferred this from the NeuroFlash assistant over to agents. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I need help disputing a fraudulent charge. Notice as we toggle back to the agent view, we've gone ahead and sent this message. We've, of course, read this message as well. The agent can actually see message by message through read receipts that they've gone ahead and received the message, but they've also read it as well. So it gives us a little bit more indication of the responsiveness and how attentive the customer is in these interactions. We can see here, they confirmed, yes, we need help disputing a fraudulent charge. We could access knowledge, we could access other components to answer that question, but we're actually going to leverage Einstein for Service here with service replies. Service replies is actually grounded in our knowledge base and our cases, and is looking to surface a service reply that might help answer this question here. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see here we have a couple of options. We can go ahead and either post or edit that service reply back within chat here. I'm going to go ahead and post that in. And it gives us the ability to quickly and easily use that Einstein for Service framework, find the right knowledge articles, find the right content to really drive down that average handle time and improve agent efficiency instead of having them perhaps manually search or manually go through knowledge articles to find that data there. A couple other features we wanted to highlight. So as this conversation is live here, supervisors, of course, can in real time monitor your messaging sessions. If you use Omni Supervisor today for chat, similarly, they can go ahead and monitor that conversation in real time. You're also going to see, though, using Einstein for Service and generative AI, we can surface that same conversation catch up to the supervisor to also improve their efficiency as they go through monitoring and supporting and coaching agents through these conversations. As soon as we wrap up this conversation, let's go ahead and kind of fast forward and say we solved for that inquiry. I'm going to go ahead and end this chat. You're going to see here on the right side, we have a wrap up that's looking at the entire conversation end to end. It's actually automatically providing us a suggestion on a closed summary based on that chat. We're also mapping out some outputs from Einstein around what the contact reason was and how we specifically handled or resolve that issue here as well. So if you think about all those manual steps that your team might take today to work through the chat, we have service replies that's going to help provide some of those recommendations and replies, keeping that conversation fluid and really driving down their handle time. And then after the conversation ends, you might use things like after conversation work, but that wrap up can really now start to expedite their process of taking that chat, summarizing it, and then working through the remaining steps to either disposition their case or to update other records in Salesforce. And that's really going to help them move quickly and easily move on to the next chat and really kind of create not only a really great, elegant experience for customers, but ensure agents have confidence in the platforms and solutions that they've been given to really maximize the value of the solution here. So now that you've seen a quick demo, we wanted to discuss a little bit around how you can fast track with MIAW here and really focus on the strategy to help you upgrade here. So, upgrading your existing chat platform and bot capabilities certainly can be a challenge. It really varies on what you've currently perhaps built out on chat, or if you're really just getting started on your digital engagement and chat journey here with Salesforce. So here at NeuroFlash, we can really help you understand and really identify the key value drivers towards either migrating or upgrading from chat to MIAW, or really helping to deploy that for the first time here. I will say for customers that are on legacy chat, you may have components that have been customized through the years of leveraging that platform. And we want to make sure, of course, we identify what those customizations are, ensure we have a strategy in place to either uplift or upgrade those on MIAW, or really explore opportunities to improve current process. We certainly don't want to bring over components that are going to be cumbersome to manage. So there's, of course, an evaluation of what's kind of a lift and shift over to MIAW, but also what are some areas that might be additional customization that we can leverage more out of the box functionality with. And of course, as you've been seeing today, there is a component with Einstein bots that will be migrated over to enhanced bots within your current instance. And taking into consideration all those factors between your chat to MIAW strategy or your Einstein bot to enhanced bot strategy, those are all elements that we can really help to map out and support and create a really clear and concise strategy on. We have expertise really across the board on the entire product suite as we've demonstrated today. We can go as far as to say, is it more out of the box? Do you really need a more custom experience? And we can really support that with our dedicated subject matter experts on the MIAW platform. This is really going to include a kind of a seamless migration into the MIAW solution. And of course, ensuring that you're in a suitable situation to leverage things like generative AI within the platform here as well. We really try to categorize our offerings into three main offerings. So when we think around the migration strategy, we have kind of this starter pack, which is for customers that might already be using Salesforce Chat in a very basic capacity. So if you have Salesforce Chat on an embedded service today, you have a couple of queues or a single queue that you route those chats to. We have a starter that's going to help take that deployment that you have and upgrade that to MIAW in a very seamless deployment over a 3 to 5 week implementation. For customers that have in Salesforce Chat today, but might have a very lightweight Einstein bot, we also have an offering here in our premium offering that's 5 to 7 weeks there that really helps to not only upgrade your chat instance to MIAW, but we also start to take your existing Einstein bot build and then upgrade that over to an enhanced bot as well. And when we say use cases here, that's really focused on the dialogues or the conversational AI that you've trained your bot on. But certainly there's, of course, opportunities in this package as well to say, are there different conversational flows or FAQs that we want to embed as part of the program? And we help to evaluate what that lift looks like over to MIAW. For customers that might have more complex chat deployments or even Einstein bots that might have natural language embedded, integrations to third-party systems, things like skills-based routing that will have to be moved over to OmniFlow and OmniRouting, for example. We have kind of this custom component here that we're offering as well. And these are certainly going to require a little bit more discovery and scoping and some design considerations. But we certainly welcome that conversation with customers that might fall into this category and are exploring that upgrade over to MIAW. With that, I'm going to pass it back to Paul to discuss what our call to action is here.
Sure, that's great. Thanks so much, Eric. Hope you all found that enlightening to see some of those advanced features that are being surfaced on the MIAW platform. But quite simply, the reason we put this whole webinar together was to really encourage customers to be thinking about this now. Engage your Salesforce team now and start to understand what the opportunity is with this legacy chat retirement and turn it into a positive by looking at the upgrade to some of these advanced features. Take advantage of us, our expertise, our experience on the platform. We can help you roadmap what the future can look like. And then consider some of these quick start packages. If you just want to streamline that upgrade path, keep it simple for now, those are options for you as well. But I think most importantly, we want to hear back from you. Do you have questions for us that we can address today? And let us know, was this helpful?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I think there was a quick question in there as well we could address. The first one was, if a web page were refreshed and remote content reloaded, cache cleared, will the chat session remain connected? That came from Aaron.
Great question. So some of this will depend on how your site maintains authentication. It sounds like, if I read the question here, a lot of it will depend on current site authentication. So we know some customers today with the existing Salesforce chat, you might pass a parameter that's used to authenticate or identify the customer. In other instances, you might do things like token exchange. So it's going to depend a little bit on how your site manages the authentication and how we might pass that information into the MIAW component. I can share though, so for MIAW specifically, the authentication tokens that you might be able to leverage here can be attributed or associated back to an existing customer or contact record. So for example, if I start a chat on your site, and then I go ahead through that process, for example, of clearing my cache or my cookies, we can maintain likely the conversational thread back to the contact record in Salesforce, so that if we do identify that customer continuing a conversation after they've gone ahead and completed that process, there's likely a path where we can still maintain that thread of the conversation just back to the contact record in Salesforce. But we welcome definitely a follow-up on that, because I think that's also where the platform and the considerations get a little bit more complex when we think around maintaining that authentication in a scenario where we might need to clear our cache there.
Cool. Awesome, Eric. Hopefully that helped answer the question there. The second one, I think this is just from an internal, will there be continuous updates from Salesforce over the next few months? Yes, there'll be updates. I'm not sure how they're delivering those, but you can always get with your account executive. They will have the latest on what's going on, as well as, meeting with the NeuroFlash team if you want to explore those options. But yeah, there'll be continuous updates coming out. Like I said, just get with your account team on there.
It's worth noting there are dates to consider as well, folks. It's a non-renewable product after February 14th, 2025. So that's something to consider if you're on existing contract.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul, for that
Sure.
clarification there. All right, so it looks like there's no more questions, and thank you everybody for sticking on. We scheduled for 60, but we got through this, and hope everybody found this valuable. And again, just if you need to reach out to the NeuroFlash team, I can help set those up. If you want to reach out to me, j.ellis@salesforce.com, as well as we will send this recording out with the deck, so you can have it and distribute to your teams, as well as for people that registered maybe not joined. And yeah, with that, we will end this webinar and hope everybody has a good week and good weekend.